Hey yo, what is up everyone? Casual Melee Enjoyer Vi coming at you. So, in the last episode we killed the wall flesh, allowing us to start enjoying the wonders that is hard mode. In this episode we will be seeing what new cool stuff we can create in the new Calamity update, because I think it was updated since the last time I played. I talked briefly about it in our first episode, but now we get to experience some more of it, and I will be going through some of the stuff that I know of. Starting with wings. In Calamity, before this update, wings used to have bonuses. Some gave you HP, damage, crit and so on for just wearing them, and others required you to pair them with their armors for their bonuses, like Daedalus armor with Daedalus wings, Targon armor with Targon wings, and many more. In my opinion, this was very cool, but now it's gone. They removed all of these bonuses and made all wings give you more horizontal speed and flight time, which in my opinion it's a pretty good trade-off, I suppose. But anyway, we will be making the fairy wings alongside the giant turtle shell and the fairy boots. A pretty tanky set of accessories that will make our lives a little easier while going through the early hard mode. After which, a quick cobalt palladium mining session, with which we will be making the palladium armor, giving us some HP regen when we hit enemies, something we'll be needing a good bit of since we're using Everclear, an alcohol that now gives us a 25% damage increase, but reduces our HP regen by 5 a second and our defense by 30%. It also counts as 2 alcohols, which means we will only be able to use one more before we get alcohol poisoning, making us a little glass cannony. But back in the day I always used to play with warding reforges and a lot of defensive accessories, but it was pretty boring. This run we're gonna be going full Goblin mode. We kill the wall flesh again so that we can get the Black Reforger mod, a summon that uses the ammo we have currently equipped. We will be using Ichor bullets so that the planes can remove 10 flat defense from our enemies, and additionally, since we're melee, we can also use flasks, and we will be getting the Flask of Crumbling, which further reduces the damage reduction of enemies by 8%. After getting everything, it is time to face Queen Slime. I do not like this boss. She's always been confusing to me and I can never manage to figure out her attacks, and because of that I die 4 times before I not only learn her attack pattern a little bit, but also make a weapon that was much better than I expected, as long as you can aim, that is. The Caustic Edge. It fires a projectile like the enchanted sword that deals a surprising amount of damage and inflicts acid venom, a dot that deals 30 damage per second and decreases contact damage by 5%, which is pretty good. The fight starts by her slamming to the ground and flying above you, leaving crystal shards in the sky. We can just carefully fly between them. After that she uses her laser attack, and a very neat trick Yardis taught me, big shout out to Yardis. You can go just up and down and this attack and you will dodge it completely. And after that comes the worst attack in my opinion. The crystal from her crown starts flying around you and shoots 5 little projectiles towards you, while she is farting out purple balls in the sky that slowly fall down with gaps you have to squeeze through. I found out that moving as slow as possible works best in this attack. After that she summons blue balls that fall straight down and break into little crystals. I somehow always forgot that this attack does that and never dodged it, but I think it's easiest to just fly up. She has an attack that summons different purple balls that she sends in a direction they fall while bouncing on the ground. You just go through them. In phase 2 she flies up and summons a big laser on top of herself while sending projectiles in straight horizontal lines. The best part here is that they are all telegraphed, which is something you will start seeing more and more the more you progress in Infernum. And lastly, she starts teleporting around the player, having telegraphed lines in all directions, after which projectiles spawn alongside shards she shoots towards you. Try keeping your distance as much as possible so you have enough time to see the projectiles and squeeze through them. Once we take care of her, we get the Hook of Dissonance, in my opinion a very nice and useful hook that I like using, but I can see how some people might not like it. We then make the Amalgamated Brain for a dodge accessory, something that is very mandatory in Infernum. An unfortunate part about it though is that with the new update they nerfed it quite hard, removing the 10% damage it gave, but they made dodging accessories stack, and the way it works is the more dodging accessories you have, the more the cooldown will be reduced if you get hit. I don't think it's as good as having the damage, but I suppose honestly people might find some new broken combos, so we'll see what's gonna happen. And after farming a few ice golems for Essence of Ilium, if you didn't know, they drop a very good amount on death. We make our cryo key, put the platforms back to extend the arena a little bit, and it's time for cryogen. In Calamity, this boss is a massive snooze fest that takes an eternity to kill because he's very tanky and most of the weapons you can use against him are not the greatest. They don't really have a very good homing, and the ones that do don't really deal any good damage. In Infernum he is a little bit better, having attacks that are a little more interesting but can still be quite hard, especially if you don't know what to do with the boss. Infernum is very unique for making bosses very hard, while giving them telegraphed attacks, and also punishes the player if they're moving all over the place. Most bosses have mechanics that require you to move very slowly, otherwise the bosses will start moving spastically around the player and make it much harder to evade their attacks. And Cryogen is no different. The fight starts with him building a ring around him made of ice crystal projectiles that he shoots out after a second or two, repeating that a couple of times. Try moving slowly and going the opposite direction of where he is going to, so that you have enough time between you and the boss so that you can read the projectiles. He has an attack where he throws similar ice projectiles, and after a short period they shoot towards you. They kinda try to predict your movement, but not too much. You just run away in a straight line for those, flying up and down whenever you need it. After a while he spawns these blue walls around you and does the attack where he's flying above you and shooting the ice projectiles circling him. And after some time the walls themselves explode in more projectiles that aim towards the player. Moving slowly up and down and slightly left and right is the best thing here. He has an attack where he is moving slowly and dropping crystal balls that explode after some time, shooting projectiles upwards that rain down. You just run left and right from them. At around 50% he starts teleporting and flying slowly around the player, leaving crystals behind that after a second shoot towards you. I found that moving in an S pattern works very well here. And also never forget to ram dash whenever you need it. After which he starts doing the same attack but flying horizontally, while also aiming at you, so be careful because he can be quick. And lastly, he goes above the player and he starts spawning slow horizontal moving lines that you dodge easily by moving slowly up and down. After which he repeats all of those until he dies. I do die twice to him, mainly because I needed to remember all of his attacks and how they worked, but once I got the hang of it, it wasn't very hard at all. Just a very slow fight. Now the weapons you can get from him, alongside the ones you can buy from Permafrost, are not too bad, so you can try using them and see if you like them. But with that we also unlocked Cryonic Ore, which unfortunately we can't really mine yet because we need a titanium or adamantite pickaxe. I don't remember if I actually said this, but in Calamity, in the mod configuration, there is an option allowing for slow and more balanced progression, where once you kill the wall of flesh, you unlock both cobalt and palladium ores. After defeating the first mech, you unlock both mithril and orichalcum ore, and after defeating a second mech, you unlock both titanium and adamantite ore. And additionally, after defeating the last mech, you start getting hallowed ore from the third mech and every mech afterwards, and alongside that you also get hallowed ore veins in your world, which can be spawned in the hallowed underground. Alongside that, every broken altar gives you souls of night, which is pretty useful so that you don't have to go underground and farm them yourself. I used to dislike this change, but now, after playing it for a while, I actually really enjoy it. The hollowed armor is very powerful and I don't think you should have it so early on, even though, just like in our Ranger playthrough, we won't be making it just because I want to have it harder for myself. With all of that out of the way though, it's time for our first mech boss, the twins. My weapon is strong, but one bad thing about it is that it requires me to aim, and as we all know, I am not very good at that. The twins are not very big and move quite fast, so the fight takes much longer than it should, which is also why I died 3 times. The fight starts with both of them shooting at you and moving towards you, after which they do one of their signature attacks. They start circling around you while shooting. I can't really tell you how to dodge that perfectly. I think trying to go slow and follow one of them works somewhat the best, and I think Retinator might be the best for this one as well, because his projectile is much faster. After that, Retinator starts to shoot multiple projectiles, while Spasmatism is shooting his flamethrower while charging at you. You just fly quickly in a direction, and if he's very close to you, ram dash the other direction so that you dodge him. They have an attack where one goes on your left while the other is off screen, and one next to you will try to ram you, after which the other goes on your right and will try to ram you. They will do that 2 times each, and the easiest thing to do is ram them as well. They pretty much repeat all of these attacks up until they get to 35% HP, where they start doing their other signature attack. They clump up. Spasmatism starts spinning and shooting fireballs in all directions, while Retinator shoots a laser into the ground that splits into projectiles that fly in all directions as well. You can easily dodge that by being further away from them, so you have enough time to predict where they will go, so you can go between them. But there's also another thing you can do, which is very risky. If you have a very good true melee weapon, Carnage being a somewhat good choice, you can go to them and hit both of them at the same time, trying to nuke them as fast as possible. But again, this is very risky and you will get hit. I was very close to dying here again, but thankfully we had some hearts from our previous attempts. After you kill one of them, they gain a shield. You can see which one you've killed by the color of the shield. And after you kill one of them, the one with the shield remains. After a couple of seconds, the twin that remains gets empowered and has new attacks that they spam. This phase is pretty much a race for you to kill the boss as fast as possible, because each one of them has very annoying attacks. Once we kill it though, it's finally over and we get our Mithril and Orc outcome. Another thing I forgot and I should have done is get life fruits. As I pointed out in our Ranger run, in Calamity, life fruits start growing from the start of hard mode. So I was just making life more difficult for myself, but hey, just your average everyday masochist activities, am I right guys? Guys? Anyway, after a quick Mithril and Orc mining session, we make a slightly better wings, the Mithril armor, and an accessory that some of you might know is extremely powerful, the Slag Splitter Pauldron. We will use the Destroyer to show off what I mean, but after we have already defeated him once, because I really want to kill him fair and square first. But first we have Prime. I died 4 times to him, and honestly, I cannot even defend myself. Prime is one of the simplest bosses, and yeah, I guess I needed some time to remember his attacks. I was also sprinting it for fun apparently. I don't know what to say, I'm just bad at the game. But anyway, the fight starts with him spawning above you and after a while sprouting his arms. You have to kill them first before you can damage the hit. The arms start attacking immediately with telegraphed attacks that are quite easy to dodge. When the laser and cannon telegraph and are about to shoot, you just fly in the opposite direction. And when the saw and vice telegraph and are about to attack, you just ram dash. After that he rages, breaks the head shield and has only 3 attacks. Attack 1 is him going in a corner above you, dashing at you and shooting nails. You just fly away, either up or down depending on which side you feel better in, and ram dash whenever you need it. Attack 2 is him going above you and shooting nails in all directions. You just fly up before he positions himself and slowly fall down with him. And attack 3 is him shooting rockets and skulls at you that slightly home. He repeats those up until he gets to 30-35% HP and finally gets some new attacks. Attack 1 is him spawning blue balls around him that explode in damaging clouds after a while, and he starts shooting his rockets and skulls. You just have to fly around the clouds. And lastly, he charges his big lasers around him, forcing you to be between two of them, and starts shooting little blue lasers and slightly homing rockets. It's best to keep your distance here so you can keep track of them and dodge them accordingly. And he repeats those until he dies. I really don't know why I died to him 4 times. Honestly, I have absolutely no excuses for this. I'm just bad. But with that, we now have Souls of Fright, which we will use for a new true melee weapon, the Infernal Cutter. Insane damage, inflicts Hellfire, it's just fantastic. And now it's time for the last mech, the Destroyer. From the 3, he is my hardest boss, which is why I die 9 times to him, before finally dodging enough to beat him. At first he's charging the player while dropping probes that have telegraph charges as well. Since we have the Infernal Cutter, what we do here is staying close to him and dashing whenever he gets close to us. The ram dash is giving us immunity frames so we don't take damage from the body and we do very good damage in return. After losing around 35% HP, he gets a couple of new attacks, one of which is to throw bombs in the sky which explode on contact with blocks. He gets a laser attack which is very easy to dodge since its telegraph is very big and gives you enough time to fly away from it. In the meantime, he is again chasing you. Now, since we were rushing to kill him, we skipped 2 major attacks, one being his laser wall attack. He goes below us moving slowly while spawning vertical laser walls across the whole screen. They are telegraphs and you have around a second to position yourself between them before he shoots. He does that a couple of times and in the later stages of the fight they start spawning diagonally as well. And the second attack being he shoots a big sphere and after a while he spams a massive amount of telegraphed lasers that are again pretty simple to dodge. But after we kill the third mech, Infernum gives us a phenomenal cutscene showing Draydon observing us through a hidden camera. This is some honestly holy goodness right here. I absolutely adore how they made it. Massive round of applause for the devs. But now, let me show you why I didn't use the Flag Splitter directly and why it's so powerful. Oh boy, mind you, this thing was nerfed this patch. This demon was nerfed and is still killing the boss in 18 seconds. So yeah, if you ever struggle with a worm type boss in hard mode, just use the Slag Splitter. I won't use it because I don't want to cheese them all, but if you want to, be my guest. But now it's time for a quick chlorophyte life fruit mining session. After which we make the chlorophyte armor, something I haven't made in probably around 8 years. Usually you have a lot of armors that are better and provide somewhat better bonuses, but why not try rocking the plant armor? At least it looks sick, right? We use all of the life fruits, use the blood orange, which is now called the sanguine tangerine, and go to the shimmer for vital crystal and aegis fruit, giving us permanent 4 defense and 1 HP regen, which is actually pretty huge. You may not realize this, but 1 HP regen might not seem a lot, but that is 60 HP in 1 minute. Besides some exceptions, our boss fights continue for around 2 minutes each, so that's 120 HP regen just like that. While we are doing all of that though, we find our mini Plantera biome and we make a little arena so that we can fight her and Plaguebringer Goliath here later on. Plantera is next, and she is also pretty difficult to me, mostly because I haven't gotten very used to her attacks. We die a couple of times to her, and after each one we try some new weapons because we're starting to really struggle with damage. The winning Plantera fight ends up taking us 3 whole minutes, which is very bad. As a quick tip, do not use the True Knight's Edge because it's complete trash. Now, phase 1 Plantera starts with her spamming you with little seeds. You have to fly away and sometimes squeeze through them if you're in a bad spot. Alongside that, she's spawning little pink flowers that I swear to God, I somehow never see. Keep it slow and look around you for the pink flowers. After losing 25% HP, she stands still for a while, and if you position yourself correctly, you can use a true melee weapon as well as a ram dash through her for a big chunk of free damage. After that, she goes in phase 2. She starts farting clouds everywhere and surrounds herself with hooks while moving slowly. You have around 3 seconds to go to the side with no hooks because after that she will sprout them all in all directions. She does that 2 times. After which she will sprout thorn walls in all 4 directions, cutting your arena in 4 and forcing you to be in one of these 4 little arenas. She then starts to charge at the player quickly, while shooting little petals at you as well. Just go between them and ram dash whenever you need to. The trick here is to know how to position her so that you don't end up with her closing you off in a small arena where you can't maneuver properly. Always try to have her in a corner of your arena so that when she starts farting and then sprouting the walls, the clouds will have enough time to disperse on the opposite side of the corner and you have as much space to dodge as you need. Around 25% HP left, she will have 2 layers of hooks around her that sometimes can have their holes on the opposite side of each other, so you have to be quick. And instead of sprouting 4 thorn walls, she will sprout 5, which isn't the biggest deal if you have a big enough arena. After a while, we defeat her and get access to a bunch of very useful things like ectoplasm from the dungeon and a new true melee weapon, the Butcher's Chainsaw from the Solar Eclipse. But all of that will have to come in the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video and want to see more, gently pet the like and subscribe button. And feel free to follow me on all of the social media linked down in that beautiful description so you never miss out on any new concoctions I brew up. Alongside that, there is a link to my Patreon. And if you really like everything that I do, have excess money collecting dust in your bank account, and feel like I deserve it, you can subscribe to me as well. Of course, as we all know, completely optional. Again, thank you all so freaking much for watching, and I hope to see you all God gamers in the next episode. Big wholesome brother vibe out.